I've had this walnut slab in my shop for many months now, so today I'm finally going to put it to use. I'm going to make a charcuterie board. Peter Esterhazy once said, "History is an alternating series of frying pans and fires." As you can see, I'm in the frying pan phase right now. One issue I noticed almost straight away was that this board had quite a bit of wobble. I fixed this issue by putting it on a temporary makeshift sled, putting shims underneath one corner to make it stable, and then flattening the top side with my planer. If you happen to follow my Instagram, you will likely remember that I already posted a video of this process on my page. For some reason, the video that took me about 3 minutes to produce ended up with almost 24,000 views. Yet for some reason, I continue to toil on YouTube for a few hundred views per video. While I was flattening it with the planer, this knot revealed itself. My plan was to fill it with epoxy, but the only epoxy I had was super thick. So to make it a bit more runny, I put it in a kettle of hot water for a few minutes. This made it very liquidy and much easier to mix up in a cup. You may notice that this epoxy I am using is not at all clear, and that is perfectly okay. After I stir it sufficiently, it has quite a yellow and hazy tone to it, but that is easily fixed with a bit of blue dye powder. With the knots filled, it was time to start cleaning out the crack. I have to be careful with what jokes I make because this is going on the internet, but I needed to have a way to hold the crack in place and make sure that it wouldn't continue to get larger as time goes by. And to do this, I decided to use bow ties. You may wonder why I am rushing through the process in this video, and that is because this is the first time I have ever tried bow ties, so I made a whole separate video documenting that. If you are watching this after Friday, September 30th, 2022, there will be a clickable link in the top right corner to go watch that, as well as in the description down below. If you are watching this before that date, then subscribe to see that video come out next week. This week I tried using a file as a glue spreader. And yes, I am working on a ranked tier list of all the glue spreaders I have tried, complete with a description, links, and pictures on my website. It's not ready yet, but I am working on it. Shout out to Brian for suggesting that. After the bow ties had been cut, there were some small gaps that needed filling, and then it was time for a very large amount of sanding. Once again, I will go much more in depth on this process in next week's video. This is just a very brief summary. With the bow ties done, I could draw out the shape of the handle I wanted using a pencil. I just sort of freestyled it and drew something that I thought would look cool. I then just cut out the handle using the scroll saw. I then cleaned up the opposite end with the miter saw. There are some very small voids left to fill, so I used some CA glue and some quick sanding to take care of that. I then used the drill press to drill out a hole in case you ever wanted to hang it up on a hook. Then it was back to even more sanding. Here I am spraying it with water to raise the grain, before sanding it even more. Then it was time for the final step, applying a finish. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and comment if you want. I always respond to the comments that are in English. But more importantly than all of that, until next time, go have fun and throw snakes at crocodiles.